Welcome on in to Sports Memo Today. Interestingly enough, you see to my side, we got the whole Thursday crew back, and I say interestingly because it's the first time I have my producer, Robert, back with us behind the scenes. He does a terrific job doing all of our afternoon programming with Wager Talk TV. I say interestingly because he's a huge Houston fan. I hadn't seen him since the Eagles beat the Houston Texans. I haven't heard from him since the World Series was rolling along. You would think Houston Astros and Mattress Mac getting the last laugh, he would have been there the day after in my ear, but it took him about a week and a half to say, go Astros. Well done, Robert. You got me. And we're happy to be here. I'm your host, Dan Alexander. And like I said, we got the usual crew, Matt Josephs, Eric Pauly here with us today. We have a great code to drop for you. If you want to ride with our experts, it is a Sports Memo Today exclusive code. You'll only see it here, and it's a 7-day all-access pass for $69 using code MEMO7. Why is that important? Well, our first guest that we're bringing in here, Matt Josephs, college football is his expertise this year. You're going to be hard pressed to find someone who's making you more money in college football than Matt Josephs, and you can ride with him for this weekend. Plus, for just $69, that's not too bad. Let's welcome him in. Matt Josephs coming back to the show. Twitter knows him as Mid-Major Matt. And Matt, man, our Eagles, they probably weren't going to go undefeated, but the bit we had that we were undefeated as co-hosts, it was a fun one while it lasted, and I see you're now living in the dark because of the loss. How are you doing, brother?
Doing okay. All it needed was some fluke plays, some officiating gaffes, and some terrible things that happened for us to lose. I think that's a good sign for the rest of the season that all those fluke things had to happen for us to lose.
Well, and who doesn't want 13-year vet Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh on their roster? That's what the Eagles just did, maybe getting Jordan Davis back for that Titans game to bolster that run defense that they badly need. They're going to be needing it this week as they're playing the Colts, but we'll be talking about that with Eric Pauly, who will probably victory lap the Commanders when he hops on. But let's talk a little Thursday night football, Matt. Love to get people some actionable info that they can get in their bet slips this evening. And the Packers, you could argue they saved their season with the win over the Cowboys. Me and Matt definitely not doing any crying for them boys in that one. But this Titans team, they just continue, I'll say, to be good while still being bad. Now, it's been 7 straight ATS covers for the Titans. The Packers are 0-5 in their last 5 games as a favorite. That's against the spread, of course, that they're 0-5. But, Matt, that's why I love talking with you, because we don't care about those trends that you see circling around Twitter. We care about the prop market, and you have one that's pretty interesting today. Where are you going in Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, it's not a great prop night tonight. Everybody's going to be on the Derrick Henry rushing yards over. The value is still probably there, but it's not as much because obviously it's gone up a bunch of yards since it first came out. Who knows what Aaron Rodgers is going to do tonight. Ryan Tannehill is probably going to barely be used. So I'm going to take a guy, and this could be a prisoner of the moment kind of thing. I'm going to take over 19 and a half yards for Christian Watson's longest reception. If you watched the last game against the Cowboys, Watson was the deep wide receiver for the Packers in that one. And if you notice, the Tennessee Titans have given up a lot of deep passes this season. It's a common thread. It's the speedster for the opponent. It's the Brandon Cooks, the Alec Pierces, guys like that have beaten this secondary. It is a short week, and with the Titans being a team that you can't run on as well, Rodgers may have to throw the ball a little bit. One broken play in the cold, and Christian Watson goes over this number. So, yeah, it's not a great prop game, but I'll take a shot on Christian Watson building off of last week, going over his longest reception at 19 and a half yards.
Yeah, and all it comes down to, he's going to get a target deep. It's just, does he catch it? He did it in the last game. We've seen him drop a few. So just catch the damn ball, Watson. And let's cash this over 19 and a half. Longest reception. You can find that at several different regulated books here across the United States and probably offshore as well. Let's talk a little college football, Matt. Before you let us know what this play is, just tell people about this college football season that you've been putting together, and then we'll get into this Akron-Buffalo game.
84, 50, and 4 this season in college football. The most profitable on SportsMemo.com, the most profitable over the last 3 seasons, hitting over 60% in 2 of those seasons. And I've got a rare 5% played for Saturday. And I don't do a lot of them. I don't feel like giving them out a lot. I just don't do that sort of thing. But there is a team total that I absolutely love on Saturday. So for my first 5-unit play of the season, you can get that on SportsMemo.com.
And you can get it inside that 7-day all access for just $65. 5% are going to run you $35 anyways. Use that code MEMO7 and ride with Matt for an entire week. If you already have all access from Matt, you can also stack that as an offer. But Matt, as a radio guy, you'll be able to appreciate this drop. When you're talking college football,
he's good.
Yeah, a little Billy Madison action for you. Let's talk Akron and Buffalo. If you've been on Twitter at all this week, you probably know there's a little bit of snow, maybe even thunder snow, which is an incredible name for a metal band that will be rolling through the Buffalo area. You think that might translate to a little offensive frustration for both of the teams, especially the one coming down from Akron, Ohio? How are you betting this game, Akron-Buffalo?
Yeah, I think there's a misconception coming out from a lot of people that this is going to affect Sunday's game, and it's actually the wind that's only going to affect it because the snow will be out of there by Sunday. So the Bills and the Browns will be able to play this game. The Zips and the Buffalo Bulls will have to play in the middle of it with the snow, with the wind and everything. And look, this number's come down a little bit already. Both sides of both teams. Now, I'm not as worried as much about Buffalo. I mean, obviously, look, Buffalo's going to struggle too, but they run the ball more. Akron barely runs it. Their offense is basically short passes. They go 5 wide receivers quite a bit. DJ Irons is a mobile quarterback, so that's good. But it's going to be snowy. It's going to be windy. We saw a little bit of it, not even close to what it's going to be in the Western Michigan, Central Michigan game last night. There was not a lot of points in that one. I'm taking Akron under 16.5 points in this one. I think the Zips are going to struggle. Now, of course, it goes under that key number of 17, but whatever, that's fine. I don't know how many extra points are going to be kicked in this game either. So I'll take a chance. Give me the under 16.5 points for the team that likes to throw the ball a lot more and probably will not be able to do so Saturday as Buffalo takes on Akron.
The Akron Zips under the team total, 16.5 points. You can grab that right this moment. Matt, you talked about your 5%. Do you have anything else loaded either for tonight or the coming weekend that you're excited about? Let people know about it on your way out here on Sports Memo Today.
Yeah, certainly. As we said, number one, most profitable on Sports Memo, hitting over 60% of my college football. That stuff will start coming up tomorrow night for Saturday's card, other than the Akron play, which is already out there for the clients, and the 5-unit play as well. And, of course, the NFL props as well. Don't forget, Prop It Up tomorrow at 10 a.m. Me, Andrew, and Andy Lang will give you all the best actionable information for the weekend in the props market, whether it's football, basketball, UFC, hockey, whatever.
All the above. You can hear it tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Huge thanks to Matt Josephs. Always a pleasure having him on the show here. Again, use that code MEMO7. Head to his page, 7-day all access, just $69. And that will include the 5% or the first of a very profitable college football season. 5% play from Matt Josephs. Let's swing it on over. I tried to petition the committee and get Eric Pauly off the show today because I know he was going to be, hot dogging and grandstanding about his Washington Commanders. But we had to override it because he is part of our Thursday crew here. So, EP, even on the week when you take down my undefeated Eagles, there it is. You earned that. You earned that, brother. You knew I had to have you on. How's it going, man? And how's it been running for you, brother?
It's going very well, and Monday actually saved my week. So I was 2-2 heading into Monday Night Football, but I missed 2% plays, hit 2 1% plays, so obviously was down units, but had a 4-0 sweep on Monday, including, of course, my Commanders on the money line plus 400. Also, the Eagles team total minus 27.5. Devonta Smith over 4.5 receptions at plus money that cashed, and Antonio Gibson over 34.5 rushing yards cash. So a 4-0 week. 4-0 Monday, 6-2 week, and I've been profitable in 5 of my last 6 weeks in the NFL this year and up 17 units. So I'm feeling great.
I love to hear it, even with that stupid W on your head. But I will say, impressive by the Commanders, because last year there was an undefeated team that a lot of people, called frauds or overrated, whatever. And that was the Steelers, the Taylor Heineke and the Washington Commanders slayed, or team formerly known as the football team, I guess could say slayed. Now they take down another 8-0 team. So, man, not much to cheer about in Washington, but you guys are the giant slayers. I can tip my hat to you on that one. Since we're talking that Eagles game, and I was with you, that 11 points was just ridiculous in a divisional game. I didn't think they would win outright, but kudos to you cashing that plus 400 for you and your clients. Let's start with this Eagles game because it's bounce back time for them. Now, can they bounce back with this rush defense that just got gouged on Monday Night Football, allowing Washington to control the clock, pick up short third downs, could hardly get off of the field? Now they have a short week, bouncing back against the Colts team, who just won with their first win as their new head coach, Jeff Saturday, comes in. So what are you doing, Pauly? Is it the Eagles bounce back angle, or do the Colts maybe have a leg to stand on with Jeff Saturday? How are you betting this one coming on Sunday?
Yeah, so while I could not be happier that the Commanders were able to beat the Colts, did we deserve to or absolutely outplay? I mean, the Eagles, no, we did not. But what we did on the ground, though, is that cannot be overstated about how we were able to control the clock. And that formula is something that I think the Indianapolis Colts can copy. And I think that 7 points is just too many to lay for the Eagles, especially considering the fact that they're going on the road to face this Colts offense and Jonathan Taylor. As we saw last week, of course, the Las Vegas Raiders, they're close to resembling more of a college team than an NFL team at this point. But looking at this matchup, I know literally in the past 20 minutes, the Eagles decided to sign Ndamukong Suh, which is a great signing for them to try to bolster that run defense. But it also indicates how big of a problem that gap in the middle that Jordan Davis left is for this squad. Now, when the Colts beat the Raiders last week, a lot of the credit went to Jeff Saturday, but I'm not sure how much he really did. They really dumbed down that playbook for the offense. They had Matt Ryan and Jonathan Taylor kind of just run all over everybody. Of course, that huge run from Taylor was a difference maker in that game, but there's no reason to believe that the Colts can't do that against this Eagles team. Now, of course, Suh is added. I don't know how active he'll be on Sunday, if even active whatsoever, but while there was a lot of good for the Eagles, and like you and Matt were discussing there, and even before the show, it's not like a bad thing for the Eagles to have lost that football game because they played well and still lost, and on some kind of debatable type of calls and plays, but 7 points just seems too many in this matchup.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Colts to cover the 7. It's not a bet against the Eagles to say that the Eagles are going to lose this football game. This is also not saying that the Colts are a great football team. It's just that the formula that Washington showed on national TV on Monday night is a formula that the Colts can replicate. And again, I'm not saying that this is an outright winner again, but 7 points is too many in this game.
Here's one thing that I haven't heard on any other show, and why I was excited that you put this on the rundown for us to talk about here today, is because Nick Sirianni, part of the reason why he's the Philadelphia Eagles head coach is what he was able to do moving his personnel around as a coordinator with the Indianapolis Colts. And, the fact that he'll come into this game with a team that's had not as much roster turnover outside of quarterback, I would argue, might know this Colts personnel better than Jeff Saturday does, which is why, I'm probably not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. I agree with you. 7 points looks like too much. I would maybe even, I know you and I are teaser guys. You think the Eagles are going to win this game outright, it's a good teaser spot for them. If you don't think that this bounce back is real, you probably just stay away. Would you agree with that if you're able to get the Eagles down to a half point or a point? I know you're looking the other way with that 7, but at least strategy-wise, an Eagles teaser wouldn't be the worst thing for you.
100%. The Eagles are certainly a team that is on a radar for a tease. I have not locked in the Colts. This is not an official play of anything I've done.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say is with Matt Ryan, this team is so different. Now, obviously, he got a lot of crap for playing poorly to start the season, which he did. He deserves it. But he is leaps and bounds better than this Sam Ehlinger character that they try to insert into that starting lineup. So I think that kind of mix, and yes, it's a great point with Sirianni getting that job, but that was also 2 years ago now. Yes, there hasn't been much turnover, but this Colts defense is legitimate. And that's really what's going to keep this game tight. But again, even against the Commanders defense that is middle of the pack, probably upper middle of the pack in the NFL, the Eagles still could do whatever the hell they wanted, it looked like. So I, again, am a little just weary. I do consider the Eagles a good teaser leg. But again, if we're going with taking points, a home dog in the Colts at 7 with the way that they can certainly run the football, I lean toward going that direction than finding a partner in this week because there are not a lot of great teaser options on the board this weekend. I would look towards San Francisco as my best teaser option, and I could certainly see the case to be made for Philly in a teaser because you're getting them